a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight. This is your moment, it's time to rise up. Conquer them all, watch as they fall. There's nothing left in your way. Prove to yourself there's nobody else. Raise up your head and leave no man standing. No man standing. Numb to the pain, no one to blame. Breaking the weak as they fall.
Hey, what's up gamers? This is Critical Redemption here. I'm going to be doing a recap review on one of my favorite Batman games next to Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. I wanted to recap on Batman Arkham Origins and basically do a whole review of the game itself, the DLC, and the story mission DLC. So with that being said, I wanted to recap on the story. So let's get started with the story. Basically, what the story is about, this Arkham Origins takes place during the year 2 of Batman. He's basically the vigilante. He's in his vigilante career in Gotham City. And it's Christmas Eve, and the villainous Black Mask decides to celebrate by offering up a $50 million bounty for Batman's head. He even goes so far as to hire a team of 8 assassins, ranging from mercenaries like Deathstroke to psychopaths like Firefly to monsters like Bane and Killer Croc. And yet, it gets better, guys. Basically, not to content, just let the assassins come in. Bruce Wayne suits up and sets out to take the fight directly to Black Mask. What follows is a much more personal story than prior Batman games, one that is less about the threats facing Gotham City and the rest of the world, and more about the threats that face Batman himself and how he reacts to them as a relatively inexperienced rookie in the vigilante business. Initially slow starting, the story eventually finds its focus and hits its stride about a quarter of the way in. Once Batman's greatest arch-nemesis makes his long-awaited appearance, the Joker shines here as he always did in Arkham games, and it's especially interesting to see Batman and Joker first encounter and how they both react to the aftermath of the confrontation. And it's very different, but also strangely similar in ways. So I also wanted to talk about the gameplay. The gameplay is the most important thing of the video game, so let's get into that. Gameplay-wise, if you played Batman Arkham City, you know what to expect here. This time, the action takes place throughout the entirety of Gotham City rather than the walled-off confines of Arkham, aka Arkham City. That being said, Arkham Origins doesn't really do all that much with the added real estate, and as a result, the world feels bigger than it really needs to be. To help players get around the large world, Arkham Origins smartly introduces a fast travel system that is similar to what you find in a game like Assassin's Creed, for example. There are a number of powered down communication towers, so make sure you guys look out for those. And they can also be restored by finding them, beating up the enemies, guards, their entrances, and on top of it, solving a simple puzzle that opens the door to a hackable console. Doing so, you will open up a fast travel point on your map in the district and allow Batman to use the Batwing to quickly drop off in that spot that you opened up. So I wanted to talk about the gameplay, but also I wanted to talk about the fantastic relationship between Alfred and Batman, aka Bruce. It's the night of Christmas Eve. He's got a $50 million bounty on his head. Alfred's kind of playing a big part in this game. Basically what he's doing is he is warning Bruce not to take the night and destroy it and come home for Christmas dinner. But Bruce is so hard-headed that he wants to continue as the Batman, wants to get on the good side of Gordon, and wants everyone to know that he's not trouble. And I like the relationship of the father and son figure in this game that Alfred has to do with Batman. You could literally go back into the Batcave whenever you please. That was one of the awesome things about this game. You could go back, you could use different suits when you unlock them. You could talk to Alfred whenever you want. He'll give you some advice and pointers or tips or whatever. And then you jump back into the Batwing and head back into Gotham City. That was a fantastic point of the game. I like how strong the story is between them and the bond. So you'll also be restoring towers. It's just one of the many activities or side activities you can do exploring the city. Batman also has a most wanted list of villains and can choose to follow up on one of their side missions. Each side mission typically has its own set of objectives and brief storyline detailing the villain's motives, but ultimately the boiled down part is go here, fight, disable, destroy, collect this, collect that. Now go here and do the same thing again. Though there are some standouts, I'll let you discover it for yourself. But overall, like Asylum and City before, Arkham Origins is about installing fear into your enemies. Although essentially the series' core gameplay mechanics remain untouched, with a few tweaks, gadgets like the glue grenade, the odd new one like a concussion detonator, and a couple of fresh moves in Batman's repertoire. Though it has to be said, guys, turning the tables on enemies with the shock gloves is exceptionally empowering thrill, and you get these shock gloves after you defeat one of the easy bosses. A game still largely compromised of exploration, free flow combat, and predator sections. If you played the Rocksteady's previous two Batman games, you'll feel right at home with this. Arkham Origins doesn't set to break the amount of rules, and yet it still seems like a bold game, but also and one that proves to be very entertaining as you breathlessly freewheel from one set piece to a next. The voice acting is done spectacularly. You have Roger Craig Smith, who is a fantastic voice actor and one of my favorite voice actors, next to Troy Baker, but we'll get into that in a second. Basically, Roger Craig Smith, if you haven't played the Assassin's Creed franchise, he is the voice of Ezio Auditore de Firenze, and he plays this hardcore Italian assassin who's a ladies' man, and he's just awesome. He also plays Chris Redfield, who is in Resident Evil 6 and 5, I believe. And he's also the voice of Sonic the Hedgehog now, which is one main character he took over. I like to see him come back as Batman in other animated flicks, you know, these great animated films that come out. But for right now, Kevin Conroy can stay that, but Troy Baker, man, wow, was I nervous for him to be the Joker. But this guy pulled it off spectacularly, guys. He sounds like a younger version of Mark Hamill, and I kid you not. I'm not just saying this to say that he's a good voice actor. This guy nails it. He sounds so much like Mark Hamill. You couldn't even tell. I mean, there was one point where you could tell he kind of sounded like Troy Baker, but throughout the whole game, I thought it was a young Mark Hamill. Spectacular voice acting in this game. And the guy that plays Alfred, I think he's from the animated series, from The Batman, and he is a fantastic voice actor too. Just the voice acting in general, the cutscenes in this game are freaking phenomenal. I have nothing bad to say about this game. Also, I want to talk about the DLC for this. The Initiation Pack, I was excited because you got to play as Bruce Wayne in his early stages before he becomes the Batman. But it was a huge disappointment to me due to the fact that the Initiation Pack turned out to be a map pack. It's basically a map pack told in a story form. So you have to basically beat thugs up as a vigilante Bruce Wayne with a beard that kind of looks like Christian Bale meets Ben Affleck. Or you could wear his ninja costume. You will get some cutscenes, but Bruce Wayne doesn't talk, and that's a huge downfall for me. But other than that, it was pretty fun. But the next DLC, I did a review for this, and I'm just going to shorten up and sum it up. Batman Cold Cold Heart is basically the animated episode of when Batman meets Mr. Freeze, Heart of Ice, that episode. And this basically, what this DLC tells is how Batman and Mr. Freeze first make contact with each other. The gameplay's spectacular. It's a 5-hour campaign. It's a DLC. You should expect that. You get to walk around in Bruce Wayne's manor. You get to kick butt as Bruce Wayne on New Year's Eve. And on top of it, you could also go into a secret office, pull the statue, and go to the Batcave. How epic is that? It's just, being a Batman fan, that's just the most epic thing I've ever seen. Also, you get to suit up as Batman in his Origins costume, but later in the middle of the game, you get to use the Exo suit, which is this big, bulky, awesome suit. It kind of meets Batman meets Darth Vader. And when he has the faceplate on, he sounds like this. But yeah, awesome DLC. I heard that there's a complete edition coming out. It was released on Germany, Amazon.com, and I saw the information leaked through IGN. And what can I say? I'm excited for it. Anything to do with Batman video games, I will buy. I own the original version, but I like to have the DLC packed in with a disc for the 360. I wish they would port this game over to PS4 and Xbox One, but I'm just happy I have it. This game for me was a 9 out of 10. Awesome game. I ran into a few glitches. You know, what game doesn't have glitches? But they fixed it. I'm proud of it. Awesome game. Warner Brothers did a fantastic game. Now I can't wait for Arkham Knight. So this has been my review for Arkham. This is basically a recap review of everything I reviewed on Arkham Origins. So when I find out more information on the complete edition, I will review that. So this has been Critical Redemption with another game review. And I also wanted to give a shout out to my best friend Steven. Steven, you rule. Thank you for watching my videos. And my brother Nathan, you are awesome. Thank you guys, and have a good day and happy gaming.